Okay, we are now recording the January 20th, 2017 Small Business Accounting Advisors. Hello, everyone.
Hello.
Hello.
We're talking about internet service or lack of it. And Larry, you have a question.
Yes, I was wondering. I'm hooked in with a local cable provider, and even though I paid for a commercial service as opposed to just residential,
Right.
I don't know, these guys. Every once in a while, it's like lately, it's getting to be like 3 times a day for sure. It just all of a sudden drops out. There's no warning, nothing, And I always want to attribute to my router, this, that, the other thing. It's never their problem, right?
So you've called support and that's what they're telling you?
Yeah, I've been through it. They even sent a guy out once, and then they wanted to charge me for sending the guy out. I said, wait a minute, you offered to send them out.
Right. And you're checking their service.
Right. So I even went and, I went and bought another router. I don't know. It just, I'm beginning.
What router you got, Larry?
I have what do they call it? A TP link, blah, blah, blah. It's got two different levels. It's got 5 gigabyte and 2.5 gigabyte.
Mm-hmm. So it's the latest router. It should work.
Right. The only thing I've heard better, I guess Asus or Asus, however you say that, they make a router, costs a little bit more, I guess, that you can, the big benefit with that one is you can get like network protection. You can get VPN service like built right into the router, so that anything on your side on the downside of the router is really protected because it goes out to another server someplace. But and that sounds like not really a bad idea,
I think mine has that. I have Linksys, like one of their best routers. That router cost me about $400.
Okay, yeah.
And we had to troubleshoot it a couple months ago. Some stuff, I can't remember what happened, but I couldn't my internet was going really slow, and I pay over $100 a month for my internet.
Yeah.
I have like the blast, so I was getting really freaked out because it would take so long to download something or upload. So I called them. Then of course the cable company says, it's your router. They told me at first it's my router. Okay. Right. And they told me this like 7 months ago, the same thing. Right. So I bought a brand new router, top of the line router that cost me several $100s. Okay. And then they also told me that I had to replace my modem. Okay. And that was very expensive. So I know the modem had to go because it was like 15 years old. Okay. But it was doing great. So I replaced everything. And then Comcast told me the same thing. I said, you're not going to tell me the same thing. I just bought these 6 months ago, and I spent probably between the two about $700.
Right.
So, they kept trying to blame either the router, because I didn't rent it from them, because I don't rent my stuff from them, or my modem. So I called the router people, Linksys, and they're really cool. They're very nice, and they helped me. And it had really not much to do with Linksys. It was the speed. They had to redo something at Comcast. They had to reset everything. But Linksys has really great customer support. They showed me some tings too, how I could split within my network. I stream everything. I don't really watch raw TV. I stream everything on all my TVs. So they even showed me how I could separate, like some TVs could get more bandwidth than others.
Okay.
So anyways, I really highly recommend if Linksys, I love their products. They've never failed me.
So getting the Linksys and working with their support kind of forced Comcast to do their thing.
Right.
But when I got my Comcast modem, it has a router built in. In fact, when I had a router, I tried to set up and it wouldn't work. And so my tech guy came out and said, yeah, you need to get rid of your router because the router's built into the modem.
So that fixed your
You didn't
problem.
need to. You didn't have to. There's a way to do it where you can. I have Comcast home at home, and I had my own router for years, and I figured out how to set it up so I can run. They have to turn off the Wi-Fi on the Comcast modem and just use your Wi-Fi, and mine worked perfectly.
Oh, okay.
So for whatever reason, they said I needed a new Comcast modem, and then it stopped working. But then my stuff is pretty old. But I think the wiring in my house is just shoddy because I'm in my house next to the Wi-Fi router, and it's not picking up on my devices. So they're like, oh, we have to send a tech person out. It keeps shutting itself off. I'm like, you know what? I ain't got time for you.
Well, I remember back in the day when you had these issues, they took care of it. And it was their responsibility. It didn't cost you extra. They would come and rewire everything if they had to. Not like that anymore.
Do you remember, I don't know if you're talking about Comcast, but I remember Comcast, I decided I wanted to change packages. And I tried to do it online myself, and it said, you need to call to have it done. Then I called and had it done, and then I looked at my bill the next month, and they're like, oh, you got charged $2. I was like, why the hell are you charging me $2? I'm like, do I have a choice in whether I can do it or not? They're like, no. I'm like, are you kidding me? You charging me $2 to change my plan when I don't have the ability to do it at all. I said, really? I'm like, man, waive that fee. Go ahead, waive it.
So Larry, it sounds like do you know anybody that works for Comcast? Do you know anybody that's a tech?
Yeah, I don't think Comcast is big in our area. I'm not positive. I can check it out.
Who do you have?
The problem is I'm in a building that, you're limited on what vendors can supply the building.
Yeah.
So I could go with Verizon. They have what do they call it? FiOS.
Okay.
So I could switch to them, I suppose. But I don't know if
They're pretty good.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would agree.
You know what, Larry? What I believe in, especially in our industry, the kind of work we do,
Yeah.
I don't care. I have to have top of the line stuff.
Right.
Because it pays in the end.
Right.
I'm
wondering
where's the equipment that will get the job done in the least amount of time. Time to me is very important.
I'm wondering. I don't know. Has anyone had any kind of experience, good or bad, using a hotspot with their laptop, that type of thing, to actually do work?
Yeah, I have.
I had a back in the day. I had a Dell laptop, and I had this little. I bought a separate little thing you plug right into the computer.
Right.
And it was through my phone company, my cell phone company.
Yes.
So it was like a data plan for my cell phone.
Right.
So, on my cell phone, I just plugged it right into the computer. But because I was doing taxes and stuff, I never ever logged into anybody's Wi-Fi or, stuff like that.
Out in the public.
Right.
Yeah.
I just used it today, Larry. I have on my phone the tethering, and I have it attached to my laptop. I went out to a client. I was setting her up for QBO. In this particular instance, I wanted to stay the master admin. So I had to bring my laptop and log on to QBO myself to put her billing information in.
Okay.
So, I do it like that if I need to. It's not like a steady everyday thing. And interesting enough, my laptop internet was more stable than the wired internet. Hang on a second. Was more stable than her wired internet in her building.
Okay. I'm under the impression that it's possible to even get tunneling type service, like VPN service, using cell phones. So if you can get it with cell phones, it seems like you could probably get it with a hotspot too.
What's the security on the, on the internet? Because I know, like, I think it was like AT&T has called a MiFi that's basically secured. It's a secured connection. I don't know that your cell phone necessarily be secured.
Yeah, I
That's
wouldn't
what
do
I'm
anything.
saying. If you can get the a VPN, which is a virtual private network, and of course it depends on what company you sign up with. I wouldn't go with any of the free ones, but it's possible that like all your communications are supposed to be tunneled inside of that, so that you can't get one of these man-in-the-middle attacks and that type of thing.
Yeah, I'm so behind on security these days. It's a shame.
Yeah.
I only do it when I need to. And this, in this instance, I was on maybe 10 minutes. And I don't know what the data usage is. I never really figured that out anyway.
Yeah.
I apparently have enough data every month and it rolls over, so I'm good. But then I don't use it a whole lot either.
Is that, it's using your phone as a hotspot?
Yes.
It puts a lot of stress on the phone, doesn't it? I mean, when I tried it on mine, the phone got kind of hot.
Got a Samsung?
Probably. It might have been an Apple. It was probably a
my phone's always hot.
Yeah.
And they blow up too.
Well, mine has never blown up, but I actually saw one blow up in an airport. It was in somebody's backpack. They were walking away from me. They were about 20 feet away, and you could hear it, and you saw it, and all of a sudden their backpack was on fire.
Wow.
Wow.
It had blown the backpack apart, and some of it went on the floor in the airport, and he stamped on it. But we had to yell at him to take the backpack off because the backpack itself was on fire. Once he took it off and put it on,
He stamped out the fire on the floor and didn't think to take off his backpack?
well, let me tell you, this happened pretty fast.
Okay.
So we're all going, take off your backpack.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like immediately.
Yeah, we don't want you catching on fire.
It was fine. Nobody got hurt, but it really illustrated. That was in the San Jose airport. It really illustrated, like, oh, they're not kidding.
Right. I actually have a Samsung also. I have one of the older models, but and so far it hasn't blown up on me, and it didn't blow up today either. Stressed, as I put it.
I was one other little thing. I was like searching around a little bit, and I was finding, at least on the commercial Gmail, the business Gmail account, they actually, if you search down in there, it sounds like not only do they have SOC1 and SOC2 security support, they also can support HIPAA. And I'm like, wow.
Wow. I didn't know that.
Don't take my word for it. Read up on it. But I mean,
No, they're required. I think they're required to provide that option. They have to.
Did you see that link I just put in the chat about battery with a built-in extinguisher?
Battery, repeat that. Battery what?
Okay, it's a battery with built-in fire extinguisher developed.
Well, I guess Samsung needs that.
Yeah, they definitely do.
That's funny.
Oh my goodness. Sarah Laidlaw.
What?
Sarah, are you okay?
I'm in QBO and I'm so confused.
You're having a heck of a time this week with these 1099.
1099s.
Oh, that in the QBO thing. My husband learned a lesson. We got to New Year's and I said, we have QuickBooks for all our bank accounts, everything personal. And I said, since you wouldn't give me your password to LastPass, I didn't have your password to your Wells Fargo and your credit card. So looks like you're a little behind. New Year's Day, all day. And then he had to bring in PDF. I mean, the information was too old and he couldn't get it.
That's
So anyway, so I said, all right. So I saw an article about converting QuickBooks to QBO. My QuickBooks goes back to 1992. So I'm like, I don't want to lose my history because it really is handy sometimes. But anyway, so my targets were low enough, so I just tried it. I just took a copy of the data and put it on QBO to see what happens. And I love it as far as I've hooked up every bank account that we have, every credit card that, and it's just now he has no excuse and I have no excuse and we'll be up to date. But help me here. When a bank charge comes down, and I have automatic transactions that it posts, for my newspaper. Okay?
Right.
Well, it's been $12.44 forever. And I set it up in QuickBooks desktop to just post every 15th automatically. It was in my checkbook, right? So I get this for review, and there it is, and the stupid thing's changed to $15.39. I got to call them. But anyway, how do I marry the two? I thought there was a way to go. It's already in my checkbook for a different amount. And
why is it a different amount?
Yeah.
I
You just need to go to your
amount.
Where? How?
go into your register and change the original transaction.
Yeah.
And then it'll find it.
Yeah, and then it
it'll
may, when you do that, it may say that this originated from a memorized transaction. Do you wish to update the template? And then you can answer yes.
Yeah.
Well, how come when I click on in QuickBooks, it's not there? But yet if I go to the register.
Oh, because in QuickBooks is just the transactions that have dropped from the bank. So you need to go to, when you're seeing that list, you just go to the register, you know, that little blue on the top right. Yeah, and go see the transactions and then find it there.
I must have dreamed that it would like, or maybe that's an old desktop thing where you could say.
Yeah, but it doesn't. It still won't. It still won't match it if the monies aren't the same. You still have to,
if it's even a penny off, it won't match it.
Maybe I know in desktop, but there's something where you could actually go search and say no
and match it.
Match it.
Yeah, but you had to make the transaction the exact amount in order for it to be able to match in desktop. Okay. Same thing in QBO.
Yeah, you still have to make sure both amounts are the same. It won't do it even if it won't.
In desktop, it will. Desktop, you can say can say go match and it'll update what's already there.
You have to
I've never been able to do that with all the stuff I pull in desktop.
Yep. I know I've done
The amounts are different.
Okay.
So if the dollar amounts are different, how does it match?
What you do is you say match this with this and take what the bank says.
So basically you're overriding what you already have in. Yeah, I know.
Yeah. No. Okay. So I'll quit fighting that. All right. So then did I dream this? I thought there was, maybe the app's different than Microsoft, but to look at your check register and see which ones have been matched by the bank.
Oh, yeah. No, you can see that.
Yeah,
you can go to the
register and look. There's a column that tells you that.
Yeah.
C is downloaded. R is reconciled.
Yeah, that's what I can't find. Okay.
Go to register.
All right, so I can never find register anymore. I have to go to the chart of accounts first, and then
you can do it from banking. There's a little
do it from banking.
That's in the upper right-hand corner. Very easy to miss. If you're
go to register.
Right.
Okay,
right.
way over there.
I I love Sarah's expression right now.
Okay. All right. So I must. Okay. So then I thought, oh well, there must be some columns missing.
That's what I think.
So
There's a
I
little
looked on the little
baby-
cogwheel.
But not the cogwheel at the
No.
very top. There should be a cogwheel. Where is it?
Midway down.
Midway, yeah. Right corner, right side, midway down.
Yeah.
Oh, that little cogwheel. Okay.
Yes.
So I
That's
did that.
called
Oh,
a-
banking status. Banking
Right.
status? No, that didn't work. Nothing's there.
I love it. I love it, Sarah.
If you click on the
Reconcile
settings
status.
right beside,
Reconcile status. Woo! I got it. Thank you. So reconciled means that the bank has seen it and it's okay. All right.
Reconcile means
No,
you've
reconcile
gone
means it's
through the
reconciled.
reconcile process.
Reconciled.
yeah, C
well, how-
means that it's
okay,
cleared
and
to the bank.
C means it's clear to the bank.
Okay, let me go back. Okay.
And a
C.
1 in the paperclip means that there's an attached document.
See, okay. So the C is what I'm looking for. And why? Okie dokie. So there's my Savannah Morning News. I thought I overwrote it. Oh no, I have to delete this one now because they're okay. Yeah. Okay. Thank you. And once I get the hang of it, I figured this will force me to use QVO. I'm still confused about if you want anything to go on a 1099, you better not bring it in as an expense, post a check first, and then match them. And people don't know that.
Well, a lot of people are now, and Intuit certainly is not letting people know that because
No.
they have. This is a big fail this year.
Oh, huge.
1099s.
But this is the first year that people have been doing 1099s with QVO.
No, but I don't know what they did with it. Well, again, it could be the banks. It could be the banks. And
Yes, I did notice that sometimes checks on one client, a check will come in as an expense, and the other client, a check will come in as a check.
It depends on how they're using the bank feeds. If they're bringing it in the old-fashioned way with like IIF files, for whatever reason, they've dumbed it down. Local banks are doing that now. They don't want to spend the money to actually upgrade to the newer form. So local banks, a lot of times when you're bringing them in, you won't get all of the information. I guess they don't put anywhere what type of transaction it is.
Yeah. Well, if you're going to do ACH, like we have some that we, on one monitor, we're in the bank and we're paying ACH, and then we've got QuickBooks over here and we're cutting and pasting the confirmation numbers as check numbers. Those should match and be fine. But you take somebody's trying to do a write-up and a couple months worth of information that's not there, and they're just going to click add, and then the 1099s are worthless.
Yeah, you have to run another report. You have to do the vendor summary.
I think for personal books and simple, I love it. I mean, mainly because of the bank feeds. It just forces you to stay up to date.
Well, even Intuit says it's better for service type businesses.
Yeah. Which is a shame because
Christy, who do you have with you?
This is my daughter, Abby.
Hi, Abby. I was about to say,
Come to join us and say hi.
How old is Abby?
7.
Very good.
7.
That's a great age to be.
How the teeth doing?
They're coming.
Oh, yeah, very good.
Isn't 7 when all the teeth start?
Yep.
I remember that. You get friendly with the tooth fairy.
Oh, yeah. Tooth Fairy is very busy.
What's the going rate these days? I don't have kids. I don't know.
Very cute.
That's cute.
So I'm sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you, Sarah. You had another question?
Oh, no, I'm fine. I'm just in desktop. It is, I've been able to run really extremely complicated businesses in desktop. So, you know, I'm not gonna quit worrying about this, you know, whole
Sarah,
QBO thing.
QBO is not made for complex business.
No, and that's why
Yeah.
I get so burned about the direct deposit being $1.70 a piece, because they're penalizing us for staying on desktop. So,
Which is why they're pushing QB. They're pushing QBO so hard that they're gonna cut their own nose off to spite their face.
no, you would think,
Mhm.
except that if you think about it, it takes less labor and support and coding and everything to have a QBO than have a desktop, that they may be saving so much money that it doesn't matter. And that
But you know what?
what makes it worthwhile is the enterprise.
If that's the case, then make QBO exactly like desktop and eliminate the problem.
Well,
That's
You can't.
impossible.
They work completely different.
Yeah.
Well,
Exactly. That's my point. They're two completely different. It's
The
like
back end
they have
is
no
different.
intention of making it work for complex companies. It's just going to be, it's always going to be a general ledger bank feed, you know. But
And actually,
even
I
then,
kind of like that.
even then, cancel.
I like it because it means the client works on their business stuff and leaves the financial alone. I mean, I have a client that's doing that now, and I am loving it.
Yeah.
He is never in QuickBooks Online now, so it stays correct.
Yeah. well, one thing, you know, the checks coming down, the manual checks coming down when they clear versus when they're written. And if you don't have a way to see the actual checks and get those checks back in line, I don't know.
I think that's,
Unless you use HubDoc.
I think that's gonna have to. You're gonna have to do HubDoc, or you're gonna have, you know, some other option like you want that app that
I sure wish HubDoc would buy LedgerSync and get it over with. I mean, just, I mean, LedgerSync hasn't, you know, you can pay them and they'll hook up your bank. So HubDoc hasn't gotten there yet. And then, so they've got all our local banks. And then I love the way you can pull up a check and change all the information from the bank to what you really want it to go into your accounting. So those two features are phenomenal. But HubDoc will get there. HubDoc will get there. So
eventually.
yeah.
Sort of, kind of like other places are doing. I'm not gonna drop any names or anything.
And you can't get a bank register on your iPad, right?
It's through the app, you mean?
Yeah.
No.
Okay. And the other thing that's also odd is when you click on expenses, you don't know what kind of, you don't know if there is a checkbook or a credit card, or it's just expenses, right?
No, when I pull in my transactions from the bank.
No, I mean, just if I click on expenses and there's this long list of stuff.
Yeah. Well, you could see it that it's a credit card credit or a credit card charge as opposed to an expense.
Yeah.
As long as you enter it the right way.
Oh, see, they all say expenses.
Well, then
Unless
you
my
haven't
credit
entered
cards
any
are
credit card
expensive.
charges.
Well, how come it doesn't know it's a credit card charge?
Yeah.
Because you didn't enter that way.
Okay. All right. Well, then that's where I need your help. I need to know what did I do wrong?
Okay, I'm gonna try and see if Donna can speak now. Donna?
I don't know what I did wrong with it then.
So if you create an expense report, like an expense
Okay,
item through your plus sign,
Yeah.
when you pick the different payment methods, it knows that it's a credit card or not. So then if it's an expense to the bank account, then it shows as an expense. If it's an expense through the credit card, then it shows as a credit card in the register.
Every one of these credit card charges say expense on it. Walmart. I'm going to open it up. And it's Walmart from Chase, Amazon. Expense. Now, well, I
Ooh,
do know
sorry,
that
got
he
some echo
imported.
going on.
He imported all the way up through. No, there's K Bella. I know that I posted that from the, when you match them up. I mean, add. Okay, so so it doesn't know it's a credit card, except I go to Chase. Oh, here, there's 4 things that I need to post from Chase. Okay, here we go. He went to Walmart again. Okay, click on add, or click on the.
I personally actually enter the source transactions. I don't allow the entries to come through that bank feed. Just because I use Receipt Bank and I shoot over my transactions from there, so then they're already there and it's just a matter of matching it.
Okay.
Unless it's like a bank charge, then I'll add it from that, but otherwise I make sure source documentation's in there.
All right, well, how do you guys do it? I've got Chase Amazon. It's got 4 new charges. It recognized 2 of them. And I was just going to click add, except that it's just going in as expense, not a credit card.
Hang on a second, Donna. I have to mute you. I think we had some feedback going on there. Now, I'm not sure why you're worried about whether it's a credit card if you're in a credit card account.
I know.
Right.
Why would it matter?
Hold on. You know what it says up there? It says bank balance. Why does Chase Amazon say bank balance?
I'm not sure what you're looking at.
When you have all your bank accounts.
The windows at the top?
Mm-hmm. So let me go.
Bank account balance.
Let me go to my chart of accounts.
In QuickBooks.
Let me go. Okay, credit card.
But it says when you click on it, when you click on banking, the heading is bank and credit cards.
Yeah.
And it just says technically it should just say balance instead of bank balance.
Okay, because when I click on the type, it says category type credit card.
Oh, good. So that is set up right. I was just going to ask you that.
And it's connected to credit card at Chase Bank. Yeah.
Right.
So you should be fine.
All right. And so
You just don't like the words in the register.
Harry Rubber, Mark's doing bicycle stuff again. All right. So then I'll just do these 4 cycling.
So once you set it up the right way, again, you're dealing with Intuit.
Yeah.
So don't pay attention to the words. Sometimes.
Here's where I saw find match. I didn't see that with
right.
When
so
you
then
click
what
in
that
it, you
means,
have that.
Huh?
when it shows find match, what that means that there's multiple items that would be considered to be matching it, but they want you to make the decision. So say, for example, with your newspaper, if you have like 3 months worth of them entered, then it wants to make sure that it's picking the right one.
Matching the right one. Oh, okay.
Right.
And that's matching.
So that's usually when it's a gray match box. The green match box means it's 100% matched.
Okay. And Whole Foods is going to wedding gifts. I think
because it went there once before, so it remembers the last time unless you override it.
Foods? Boy, what did I do there? Okay. Whole Foods should be groceries. All right, so I'm done. Whoops. Groceries. Okay, Whole Foods, and then it should set it from now on. Add. Okay, so everybody's happy and batch accept. Okay, so then I go over to my register, go to register, now that I know where that little guy is, and the expenses. But I have one up here that says credit card. Where did I see that?
So why does it matter in that register whether it says credit card or?
I don't know. It's just bugging me because some are and some aren't. And I'm trying to understand the logic.
The why? Does it matter though? I mean, as long as
no, not for.
In Sarah's mind, it matters.
But if these were company books, and well, they already said that expenses are excluded from 1099s, but
credit card charges.
Worry me that it didn't say credit, So let me go to, where did I see? I think it was my credit card.
Is there a difference if the credit card company is separate from the bank, or if you get the credit card from the same banking account?
And that's
credit
another
card
thing, too.
A credit card account is a credit card account. A bank account is a bank account, but may have a debit card attached that can be used as a credit card. But it still comes into the bank account as if it were a debit.
Got it.
Does that make sense?
Yeah,
Okay,
but you
yes,
also
thank
have
you.
to, when you sync the bank feed, you have to select the type of account and chart of account you want it to go to. You're going to set up a credit card for a credit card. You're going to set up a checking account for a checking account.
Right, exactly.
That right there
Tells you it's a credit card.
tells you it's
So,
a credit card. The word bank account, bank balance is irrelevant.
right,
When you
exactly.
set up the chart of accounts and you linked everything, you said, I want to create these accounts, and you link it to the credit card. If it's a credit card type on a credit card, then you should be.
They can only bring in credit card charges.
Exactly.
Okay, so here's my question. So I go to just the expenses, and it has a list of everything. So it's check expenses, and all these expenses are credit cards. And then I came down, and there's one that says credit card. Bills. How did it know? So what made him different?
Now, Sarah,
Hmm?
are you doing your personal books or are you doing a
Personal.
company's books?
Personal.
Okay. That also is a big difference because you're using expenses in a different way than a business would.
Well, let's pretend I'm a business, so I can.
But don't forget, it's different.
Why?
Not pretending that you're, because the things that you need to track may not even fit into any of those categories.
No, that's not my issue. My issue is understanding how this program.
How
thinks.
it's bringing it in. I don't think you're going to find that unless you contact the bank and figure out how they are connecting to QBO. Are they using the AP or whatever it's called, or are they using IIF? That makes a big difference. Even if they're bringing in IIF, are they bringing in all of the fields, or are they only bringing in date and expense and amount?
I don't know. These are bank feeds, so they're not IFs.
Well, that doesn't necessarily mean anything.
Direct
Elks is
Connect
the only
or
one
Web
listed.
Connect.
Huh?
There's Direct Connect and Web Connect. The Direct Connect, usually you have a fancier checking account for that. Usually it's a business one.
QBO?
And that, when you're inside the bank feeds, you click Send Receive, and all you have to do then is enter the passcode.
No, you're talking about desktop.
And it goes
That's
in and brings
desktop.
them in.
You're
If
talking
you
about
have-
desktop.
If you have Web Connect, it takes you to the bank's website, you sign in, and
that's
you
complete-
download a
No.
statement each time.
It's
Linda,
completely
that's
different,
for
Linda.
desktop.
That has
We're
nothing to do with the way it is in QBO.
Oh, okay.
QBO
Well,
is different.
I do
You
both.
don't do
I just got certified in QBO so I could be on the ProAdvisor website. Okay? They knocked me
I
down the
appreciate
silver
that.
and took me off the website. So I got certified. So
Congratulations.
the two work different.
Congratulations on your certification, Linda.
Thank you. Yeah, I'm back on the website now.
Good.
And,
Okay,
and
well,
when I
learning.
call in now, instead of waiting for 20 minutes to get my help, I get connected pretty much right away.
Good.
So,
Good.
Do y'all want to see something fun?
So we have Mariette here.
Where's she hiding?
She's hiding. She must be running around or driving in her car.
Showing her phone.
Mariette was going to talk
Hi,
to us
guys.
Oh,
There she
Emmett.
is.
Yay.
Hi, Gina, I love the fact that you know me so well. I literally am running around, driving my car. I'm doing all those things. I am. Oh my gosh.
well, just be very careful because some of the roads are pretty flooded.
Yeah, they are, but I'm so happy. It looks like it's finally leaving us, Linda. It's been crazy over here.
I'll bet. You stay safe.
Yeah, I'm very careful. If I'm distracted, I just turn everything off because
I'm sorry. Is that California people complaining about the weather?
They're
Well,
getting
not
rain.
complaining. You know what it is that we're not used to the weather, so we're really lame and
Like I
idiotic.
said, is that California people complaining about the weather?
I'm complaining about everybody else not knowing how to handle themselves. That's what I'm complaining.
Okay, watch me be all concerned.
Mariette, you are all over the place this week. You did a webinar with Chris Wise, which was great, by the way.
Yeah, and Joanne, of course, which she's
Oh, that was
amazing.
fantastic. You did a great job.
And then Seth this morning, I came in late, but oh my gosh, that was a
it was awesome. Christopher Reagan was a big surprise. I love when him and I can do things together. We've done a few things together with Tax Hunter Pro. But he's so awesome, and I didn't even know he was going to be on there, and I was so grateful because I was having like Seth, since you weren't on in the beginning, Seth was having some really weird issues with his Zoom where he couldn't hear us or he couldn't see us. Remember, Dennis? It was really weird.
We had like a floating host.
Yeah. Well, it was so funny though because his Zoom would like host like we would all be hosts at like random time. And so I said, okay, I'm going to just hang up and I'm going to call back. But then when I called back, Dennis, it was so weird because every time he was moving around, it was almost like my computer was still recognizing his, and he would be doing stuff and it would be moving on my computer. I'm like, okay, that's really weird. And so I did a whole reboot because it freaked me out. I felt like it was like I was getting taken over. Yeah.
So when I first signed on, all there was his chair with a backpack in it. I mean, did you see that part?
Yeah, it was a really weird morning. So I was just grateful because obviously it was supposed to be Seth and I. And then when I got back on like 10 minutes later, Christopher was talking and I was like, oh, thank goodness. So he kind of took over, which was awesome.
It was kind of like flashbacks to the Google Hangouts. Mm.
Yeah. It was spooky. It freaked me out. I was like, okay, no. Something's weird here.
Yeah.
Misha, are you leaving us? You're muted, dear.
Who?
Misha?
Yeah, I
want to show you my Powtoon.
Oh, okay. Oh, wait.
Can I show you
I'm actually trying. I literally was going to go, and then I just remembered I needed to send this client an email. So.
Can I share my desktop real quick? Okay.
I'm on my other screen, so I'm good.
You see her?
Oh, cute.
Is she cute? Okay, so you make a movie, and it's got like all this music and all these characters.
So what program is this?
It's called Powtoons. So I just was screwing around. Powtoons.
Powtoon.
Powtoon. And I got a year for $50 on this deal, and I forgot about it. And then it's up in 125 days. So I'm like, I should look at this because it's really expensive. And
That's awesome.
I've just been playing it. So I was just playing on different things. So
if you can put a link in for us.
I can't figure out how to slow it down.
That's cute.
Wow.
That is
I
so
know,
awesome.
right? You have to put a link in the chat for us so we can. Too much work. Yeah.
What I'm thinking is, if I have a login, I could share it with you guys. They wouldn't know, would they? We would see each other's movies, but
that'd be fun.
And then this one,
I have
that's a
another
blank one.
question for you. What program are you using for flowcharts?
Oh, Creately.
I use Draw.io.
Here's my movie. Anyway, so I was just trying to look at the different features, but they've
That's
got
really cool. That's cute,
yeah.
Sarah.
And they've got infographics, business, corporate, whiteboarding, cartoons.
What's the yearly subscription in general?
Let's see. Let's see if it had pricing. It's expensive. It's real expensive.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So I think I'm on Pro. And I got it for like $50 for a whole year or something.
Wow.
To get me hooked on it. Maximum length 15 minutes. I might be on the business plan. I am on the business plan. Man, I'm gonna really hate this when it goes. But so I gotta make a lot of movies before it.
That's fun. That sounds like a lot of fun. Wrong time of the year to do it, though.
I know. Well, that's the thing. I got it last May.
Oh, and you had it all that time, and it's
I was,
running out now.
and we traveled, so it was this year. But for the first time in 30 years of my career, usually 15th, 17th of the month, we haven't even started W-2s and 1099s yet. We are so busy getting year ends out and financial statements and that, and this year we're like, we've got our processes so down that we got a couple straggler W-9s. Like I've been going back and forth with a client today. This client refuses to give their individual name because they've never put their individual name on line 1 for their sole proprietor LLC.
Oh my gosh.
In all these years, and we'll have to talk to my CPA on Monday. Blah, blah, blah.
Time to find a new client.
Just ass. That's not the client. It's a vendor of a client.
Oh, okay.
And
Stop
part
your
of the problem
screen sharing.
is driving
I can see
home
you.
that they have to read the W-9s. Don't just collect them. Read them. And if they're invalid, hand it back.
Yep.
Anyway.
Stop your screen sharing so we can talk.
Sorry.
So I want to go to Misha before she leaves. Misha had a question.
The thing. Okay. So I have the CPAs in my building had asked me a quick question. I never really thought about it, but is there a way to set global preferences for fonts and color, light to dark kind of thing?
This is QB Desktop.
For QB Desktop. Now, I will please note that he has clients on 2011, but he himself has other versions because he has multiple clients on multiple years. But I think the ones he's talking about is for 11. Is there a way to set global preferences? Because he can change it individually every time he goes into reports, but is there a way that he can set it and forget it kind of thing and not have to keep changing it every time he needs to print?
Oh my gosh, I know
I wasn't
that.
paying attention. What?
I know
Don't
that I've
make me
done
say
that
that
and seen
again, Sarah.
people that have done it. I didn't realize that he was doing it at the individual report level.
Yeah, he just wants to be able to. I said it's in print settings, but he's saying, I have a feeling he just got a jacked up printer and it just is losing its ribbon or something is wrong with it because.
What's the problem?
The report, so he prints, it's very light and he wants it a little bit darker. I don't know.
That didn't have anything to do with QuickBooks?
Yeah, I think you might be right. I think you hit the nail on the head,
Is
Misha.
he using memorized reports?
I don't know.
You can go into memorized reports and change the fonts and stuff like that, but I can't imagine that he did that.
No, because he's
Yeah,
like, it changes every time. So I don't think he's using memorized reports. And again, he said that he has clients on 2011.
Yeah.
And I said, if Intuit did anything with fonts or colors or any of that stuff in later versions, and he actually said to me, oh, they're on 11. Intuit hasn't made any major changes to QuickBooks Desktop. I go, honey, you need to get with the program.
Thank you. Yes.
That's a really good, so they've done some really major changes. I think, what was it? 2013 was the major change, right?
Was it 12 or 13?
12. I think it was
8.
14.
Well, there was another one after that, though.
Oh, the one where they took all our colors away.
Yes, I thought that was 12.
13. 2013 was the black and white that people had epileptic seizures.
Right, and then 14, they fixed that. So 14 had the major, look change, everything.
Yeah.
Yeah, 14 was when they implemented workflows, when there was the whole homepage workflows, and you had to talk to your clients about that.
Wow.
Yeah. So he's like, okay, it looks like I might have to upgrade. I'm like, yeah, and I'll give you a discount.
You might want to look at looking at a new printer also.
And he said it was an older printer, so I think it might be the printer.
Can he print to another printer?
Also be the operating system.
Yeah, he doesn't seem like he spends a whole lot of money on equipment and software.
Nope.
And when you don't, when you don't spend a lot of money, you don't get a lot.
Well, then.
I mean, it's just
I'll work
like
with
that.
them. I'll see what I can do.
Free is great for most, I mean, for a lot of instances. But if you want the bells and whistle, you got to get over that. You got to spend a little
Actually,
bit.
honestly, Gina, free is never free.
Well, that's true.
Oh,
too.
I have a free desk for you. It weighs 200 pounds. Come get it. Free is not free, honey. Because then I have to find 2, 3, 4 burly guys, and I got to pay them with something. And then I got to find a truck, and then I got to get it up to my location. That's money.
Lisa, you don't worry the burly guys part though. Don't worry. You don't have to worry about that part.
Yeah, especially if they got kilts.
Yeah.
But it's just, I hate when people say, oh my God, it's free. No, it ain't free.
Well, that's my
And-
point, Miss Misha. That is my point entirely.
Yeah, in the end, you end up paying a lot more when you go with the free.
Yeah, we lost Yvette. She left us, but she is one that really says, if you pay for better, you get better. So,
In the long run, quality is always cheaper.
exactly.
Yeah. So I would, I'll work with them. I'll look and see, because it was more of a standing around in their office, quite quick conversation. But I would actually want to see the printer and do like a little bit of troubleshooting. And I have to say, I would do it for them because he gave me a 5-drawer fireproof filing cabinet
For free?
for free, and a 2-drawer lateral for free, and a little computer table that I'm going to use for my coffee machine that I just got. So just those things alone, I mean,
Just a little bit of payback.
and yes, it really truly was free, because I did have my brother-in-law come over to the office with his 2-wheeler and drag it from the office and put it in. So that was free. Actually, no, I ended up offering to pay my brother with babysitting.
Well, there you
My
go.
brother-in-law will get
Bartering.
a night out at the bar for doing that.
Bartering. Good deal.
I would say this. I have an old brother, like all-in-one machine, printer, fax machine, blah, blah, blah. And it's not immediately apparent, but if you get the little book out, there is a setting on there where you can increase or decrease the imprint, should I say, of the printer. So
Well,
Okay.
there you go.
I think it's the printer. I have to look and see what printer he has and see, because I honestly think the print itself, printing light or dark, has nothing to do with QuickBooks. You know what I mean? Unless you want to bold something or print, print red or whatever, it's gonna be what it is. So I think it's the printer and him just setting it up differently, I guess. But he did say it was an older printer, so it could also be that he just needs to, chuck it.
Mine is a laser
great.
printer too, and I did notice when a little note came up, you need a new drum. I did pay for a new drum for it. Changed. It did make
Big difference.
a big difference. Yeah.
Actually, that's the other thing, I'll save that for next week. I need some recommendations for printers.
But that was like $200 for that.
Wow. Wow.
Yeah, for the drum.
But if it's a good printer and it's, still working, it's
Yeah.
worth it.
But what constitutes a good printer?
Yeah, good question.
Because my printer, I thought was a good printer. I have a color laser HP printer, all in one. But again, I'm now noticing that my driver won't update with the stupid computer thingy that I'm having, the issue that I'm having now. So I'm looking to potentially get a workhorse printer for black and white only, and then I can use that for printing just, special projects and stuff like that.
That's the other thing. That Windows 10, boy, I don't know. A lot of these companies just refuse to get aboard with the new drivers or whatever. It's really.
I mean, it still prints and it prints. It's just this whole limbo I'm in now. Before it was, we can't install your updates for this 1607, but now it's, while that's waiting for download, the other one is giving me an error saying that my driver won't work. But I went on and I pulled in a new driver and uninstalled and reinstalled. It's still giving me an error message. So I don't know what's going on with it. Again, it's old, and I probably could,
But how much longer are we going to be using printers, period, as opposed to...
Oh, I kill trees. I
try not to now. I want to do it digitally.
Yeah, but here's my dilemma. I guess if I'm always in front of, I've got my tools, but the way I like to file and group things, I just have not found a nice, easy way to print something to a PDF and then make a set of things. And
I have to agree with you there. It is a lot different working with digital files as opposed to hand or printed things.
Don't scan. You guys always make PDFs and then.
And I think you're right that there are going to be programs that start merging together.
Oh, it's just chunky.
There's too much out there, too much overlap. Some things do the same things. We need to get things that don't do the same, and some that do the same and marry them. Then you get the whole range. But yeah, at this point, I think I'm playing the waiting game and waiting until the thing comes out that I want.
Document management, the really good ones are really expensive. True document management.
Hey, can I tell you guys what I posted real quick?
Got it.
Yeah, so I'm a big Steve Dotto follower. He's just really good.
Yeah, I love him.
We love Steve.
Yeah, and he's so quick. That's what I like most about him. He's just quick and done. So he has this new 1-minute tech tip, which is really awesome. I mean, he's already quick because most of his videos are like less than 10 minutes. But now he has 1-minute tech tips. I'm actually posting them for you guys. But he gives these really awesome tips. And I've already added actually 2 of the ones that he said. And one of them is called the text expander. Have you guys heard of that?
Repeat that? I'm sorry, repeat that.
It's a text. It's called, it's in the chat, but it's called TX Expander. Text expander, and what it does, because I'm going to use this all the time, so oops, I'll have to write it out, but basically what it is like, for instance, let's just say you're writing an email, and I do this all the time, and I always tell my clients, in case you forgot, you can contact me here, or whatever, you say the same thing over and over again. So what the text expander allows you to do, it's very similar to in Google, how you can have those what are they called, those messages that are like not default messages, they're called
canned responses.
Canned responses, yes, smarty pants, that's exactly which one I'm talking about. So this is like the canned responses, but it works everywhere. So basically what it is, you're creating like a library of things that you write over and over and over again. And now you just start writing it, whether it's in a Google Doc or in Microsoft Word or an email, and your text expander will recognize what you're writing and it'll finish it up for you.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, it's awesome. So for instance, if I'm writing, yes, send taxes like this, and then I'll stop at this, and text expander will finish the whole paragraph for me. So very similar to the canned responses, but you can do it in everything, not just in Gmail.
So how much does that cost?
It's free.
Wow.
But is it really, though, Mariette?
Well, I've already started
using it.
I know, my dear. I've already started. Remember, you know how it is. It's free until you want the bells and whistles, just like Y-Stamp. It's free until you want the bells and whistles. So it's free now. It's free up to what I've used it for. And once I get charged, I'll let you guys know. But at this point, it's free.
Does it work with Windows 10? I mean, most of the stuff seems to be iPhone or Apple kind of plugins.
No. I haven't used it on my phone. It's basically for your computer, like for when you're on your computer is what I've used it. So like if I'm writing an email or I'm in a doc and I just start spelling something out, it'll basically finish it. So it's almost like I kind of pre-write something and then text expander expands my thought. That's the idea. So, and it helps a lot, especially during tax season, because I feel like I'm writing the same thing over and over again.
And you're going a million miles an hour?
Yes.
I try that text thing on my phone where you type and you let the phone predict what you're going to say.
No.
Get
Don't
it
ever do
wrong.
that.
Oh, they can't understand a word I'm saying.
It is naughty. It does. It's naughty.
I'm like, that is not what I was trying to tell this person. Stop.
Sometimes I just go ahead and send it and see if the recipient can figure it out.
Oh my God, I send it without even because my brain is like,
Gotta read it.
and I send it before, and I'm like, did I really just send that? Did it really just?
I hate when you're speaking into like the iPad and it's typing it perfectly, but it gets to the end of the sentence and it goes, and it changes it.
I know,
I'm
right?
like, wait a minute, you were doing great.
But it does sound awesome, Mariette, because there are a lot of times that you do say the same things over and over and over.
Yeah, I do at least during tax season. Not non-tax season, I don't think it's as much, but during tax season, and the thing is, I say it over and over to the same people, because so it's kind of like now I'm going to use this. So
Sounds like you need to let those people go, honey.
no, they're good and they pay very, very well. So I use my text expander now.
If I had to tell you something 5 million times, oh no.
Oh, that's a standard for my clients. We had this conversation earlier. They will continue to do what they are comfortable doing, no matter what the consequences.
Yeah.
Even if the IRS is attaching their bank accounts.
Well,
Dennis?
I say that if they're not gonna respect what I'm trying to help you with by ignoring what I'm suggesting, and I have to keep telling you to do something over and over again, you know what? I'm gonna just stop talking.
Just put it in writing.
Did I mention that 2017 I'm not taking anybody's bull anymore? Just saying. I've had it.
Okay. So what else have you got for us, Mariette?
I think that's it. I if you're not using Y-Stamp, I love it. I have 7 different signatures on it. It's amazing. Y-Stamp. So again, it kind of really depends on if you got a lot of different things going on. So I kind of have to use different, I think I showed you different Google users for all the different things I'm wearing or also go nuts. So Y-Stamp is a signature that you can put in your Google, your Office 365, your Outlook, but it automatically updates, and you can, if you've ever gotten an email from me, I can show you real quick. If you ever got an email from me, you'll see that it's like super duper fancy because I basically use this. So like, yeah, so let me show you. So here is an example of going into Y-Stamp. It's only, I think I paid it $2 to $3. So it's ridiculously cheap. So if I send you guys an email, let's say for instance, this is what it's going to look like. So this is
I remember that.
Yeah.
So is it Y, like the letter Y?
How do you spell it?
It's wise, like you're wise person.
Oh, W-I-S-E?
Okay.
Yeah, do you see it's right here? It's Y-Stamp.
Y-Stamp.
W-I-S-E. See it up here?
S-T-A-M-P. Okay.
Yeah. So basically, yeah, it's completely free until you have multiple signatures. I believe you can't have more than 2. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I have 5. So I started paying. I paid less than $5. I think it's $2 or $3. But this is how beautiful it is. So for instance, when you're looking at it, why is it keep do that? When you're looking at it, see all this stuff? You can add, obviously a regular signature. You can add videos. So all these are actually videos. You can add this right here is a link to my share file. So I actually can open this up. And this is what I love because I've taught my clients, talking about over and over again, I taught my clients, like, how do we send you something? I'm like, I made it easy for you. I'm going to send you an email. When you see my pretty little face right down there, just click on me.
There you go.
And that's going to take you straight to my share file. Yep, my portal. And so, I mean, it's awesome. But like this morning when we were actually on Seth's Hangout, I shouldn't say it, but I was updating some emails. And so I would just come in here, for instance, and I would say, oh, I want to, take something off. So I could just let's say I'll just take, one thing off. I'll take off my Yelp, for instance, really quickly. So I'll take off my Yelp. See how it just came off right there?
Wow.
And then I say save changes. Look at how fast this is, guys. Okay, save changes. Come into my email, close out of this, refresh, which I really don't have to. but just in case. So I'm refreshing. I'm coming back now. I mean, 2 seconds? Composing. And come on, don't let me down. Y stamp, come on up. And it's gone. See that?
Wow. Nice.
I
So
mean,
Linda, what were you just showing us?
Well, I'm trying to find out what social media. Shoot.
We can't
Hold
see
on.
your phone.
This is some kind of social media signal. Does anybody know what that is?
What is? Are you sharing your screen?
oh yeah. Let me look it up because this allows you to add different icons. I wonder if that icon is on here. Let me
This
see
was
what it
at the 4 Points Sheraton. There was a Facebook, there was an Instagram, and there was this thing.
Yeah, I'm looking for it. So this is kind of cool, and this is how I'm looking for it. When I'm looking for social media, this signature allows you to add all these different ones. So I don't even know what
I thought
that's
never heard of.
Yeah, Pinterest, obviously Google Plus, Facebook, LinkedIn. That's Vimeo. That's Google. That's your Google Map location. That's Meetup. That is Reddit. And look I love it because you can hover it because I don't know what it is. So I can hover it and it tells me this is if you have a Reddit profile. This is if you have a Google Play. This is if you have a blog profile. This is if you have whatever. So let me see if I can find that picture. It was what is it? It's like a circle with, I don't think it's here.
It's odd. I thought it was Snapchat, but
No.
Yeah. What's the one that's to the right too?
Which one?
Up, second row from the bottom, all the way to the right.
Oh, this one?
No, down.
From the bottom.
2, 3.
Oh, from the bottom. This
right
one?
there.
Oh, this is my logo.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, you can add your own. So it's funny. Sometimes they don't look so good, so I don't use it. But like I did my own picture because I thought it would be so funny to tell my clients when they're like, I don't know how to do it. I'm like, just click on my
click
picture.
on my face.
There you go. Yeah. So that was kind of funny.
Eventually I'll find this. I don't
How
know.
much did you say it was?
Less than $5 for sure.
No, it's $6 a month. Billed annually.
Oh,
awesome.
Billed annually?
$72 a year.
Okay, so there you go.
$72.
Yeah.
The thing is, when I'm on my iPad, which is usually when I'm clearing my email, I have the Outlook app, and then I have another app or something, and they're both different. And one does my long signature, and the other one does my short. And one of them, I can't search well in it. The other one, so I hate it.
But what do you mean you're long and you're short? What do you mean?
I had the long one, which is all my business information, my logo.
Right.
Yeah.
Simple. Yeah. And this says it too. So obviously this is a big one. I have one called Main Simple. And it just looks like this.
And I thought that once I got on 365, it was real easy to pick the different images
like
you can in desktop.
Actually, 365 doesn't even let you do that. It's annoying. Yeah. So this allows you to actually update, and this connects to Office. Actually. It is. It's worth it. This basically connects to your Office Outlook. Now, 365 is kind of a sucker. So, but it's a sucker anyway. So, that's why I don't use it. But yeah, it's really awesome. I mean, I get people all the time that are like,
there's Y stamp for business. Maybe that's different.
I don't know. I got whatever. That's the one I got, Misha. It's $72. I just paid it at once. So I figured it was something like less than 60, 70 bucks. But yeah, so that's kind of cool. And then the other thing is I officially made a decision and I am going to implement Intuit Link this year. So I may be sharing stuff about it in my 17 workflow. So Intuit Link, it's basically a way for you to, do you use that, Misha?
Use what?
Because you do tax prep, right?
Yeah.
What do you use to have your clients, like besides a portal? Do you use like a workflow app? Oh, you don't? Okay.
No, I call them on the phone and tell them to get their butt to my office.
Yeah. So Intuit Link is basically a way for them to automatically upload everything. And then the nice thing about Intuit Link, though, it kind of creates this kind of infographic of they have 20 documents outstanding, and it'll update me on how much has been uploaded. And once it says all 20 have been uploaded, that's when I'll start their tax return. So I was going to use ShareFile Workflow because they just created a new
It's
tool called
chunky.
Certify Workflow. Oh,
Chunky.
it's terrible.
Yeah.
Well, you know what? No, I'm not going to say terrible. I was on 3 one-on-one, so I appreciate that. They literally took 3 one-on-ones with me. But the third time they said, Mariette, can we start the call and just tell you something? I like had the product manager. I'm like, yes, it's not going to work for you. No, I'm serious. That's how they started the call. I'm like, really? And he's like, let's just be honest. It's not ready for Mariette. I'm like, okay. I was laughing. I thought that was the coolest thing ever. I'm like, you guys rock. Thank you for telling me that. And they're like, and then I said, but I still want my 45 minutes. They're like, what? I said, I scheduled you for 45 minutes. So that they're the ones that actually told me about this, about adding it to, they're like, well, what can we teach you? I'm like, I don't know. Come on, teach me something. And so they taught me about like how to request files, how to encrypt it through SharePoint, all kinds of other stuff. But yeah, it was really funny because literally they started the call with, it's not ready for Mariette. So I was like, wow.
Yeah, right now I use box.com, and my folks literally know because I've been getting text messages for the last couple of days. I put my W-2s in the box. I put my W-2s.
Will it notify you?
Yeah.
It will notify you if a file shows up.
I turned on notifications. So anytime my clients preview, delete, add, look at anything, I get an email.
Because I had a client and I was giving her a hard time. I said, we're running out of month. Have a couple of W-9s. She said, I sent them a week ago. But she has a folder in QBox.
No, not
Here they
QBox.
were, but I was like, QBox doesn't tell me anything.
No, not QBox, box.com.
Right.
No, I know, but I'm just saying.
I can't wait until they
forget
all merge
QBox
to one that works fine with everything.
I've already told Chris what he needs to do. I had an impromptu phone call with Chris that he put TS into, and I told him, look, this is what box.com is doing.
Yeah.
I need y'all to do this with what you guys are doing.
What do you want him to do? I'm just curious.
The notifications
does.
and stuff?
Yeah, but what?
Everything.
Notifications.
Everything. Notifications, from notifications to being able to set up files a certain way, notes, everything.
Oh, I see.
In box.com, I can have my clients can put a document in and then send me a note specifically about that document or leave a note for me on the folder or whatever.
So
Dropbox does that now too with their paper.
I'm sorry, what did you say, Sarah?
So it's a folder on their C drive, so it's real easy and natural for them.
What, in box.com?
Well, that QBox is real natural because it's just a folder.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know what you're talking about, but that's okay. I don't know what you mean, but
different solutions are working for different people.
Yeah, they want to be able to just drag and drop or save to their folder or whatever, and then it magically appears on Sarah's side.
Right.
So instead of going to share file or
got it.
Now you can set up a sync thing where I can say just drop it in there and it's gonna fly to your share file. You know, we're getting there.
I don't know. I like box.com because I decided I want to sync it to my desktop.
Yeah.
So anytime they put anything in, I just click on my desktop and it's there.
I know.
Oh, Sarah, I actually have an update for you real quick.
What?
I was thinking about you. I was on the phone with Alexandria from ScanSnap. I'm sure some of you guys know her. She's so awesome. So she's got some major updates. I can't say what they are, but one of them has to do with a really, really, really easy app that will literally just take a picture and go straight into a really simple solution, kind of like what you were talking about when we were talking about taking a picture, going into Dropbox, putting it in a folder, all that.
Yeah.
Well, when she was explaining it to me, it sounded like exactly what you wanted it to do for your clients. So when it comes out, I'm going to tell you about it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because I've been buying all these little apps and just playing with them to see what works.
Have you done the Dropbox thing?
All to start merging together and giving me everything instead of a little piece here, a little piece there, a little piece. Or this works with this client, this works with that client.
Yeah,
I need something that's going to be more robust.
Well, I'm going to sign up for WiseStamp.
Oh, no, I'm just going to.
I like it. I like it. Thank you, Mariette.
I think I'm just gonna honey badger and get all new clients.
Alrighty, everyone. We are over time. I'm going to sign off. We'll see you next week, same time, same place.
Bye,
Bye,
everyone.
guys. Have a
Bye,
good weekend.
everyone.